if he says the horse
Hello,
can
racing fans, and welcome to another edition of Handicappers Corner, brought to you by the Derby Bar and Grill. I'm Mike Heads, along with Drew Forster. We're going to go through the Saturday, September 15th races at beautiful Hastings Racecourse. It was a great weekend last weekend. Hard to top that. It was, that was awesome.
Oh, Sunday especially. Yeah, what a day. 6 stakes, all really good races too. The Derby turned out to be a barn burner, as we figured it would be. Futurities were great races. Still a lot of categories kind of up in the air after that weekend.
Yeah, we didn't solve much.
Evelyn's Dancer.
Champ,
3-year-old, and Proud Victor, probably champion 2-year-old.
definitely. But yeah, a lot of
other than that, still
the Premiers for older horses.
Yeah, exactly. Ballerina, Ascot.
That was a big run from Commander.
That was a giant effort from him.
I knew I should have been slapped for leaving. I didn't even have him top 3.
Well, you did say brilliant. At the end he'd win by 10, which he did. You called that.
Oh well, made it a little.
So not exactly Derby weekend. No, it won't be the last.
No.
Not exactly Derby weekend, but they are a lot less. There's some pretty low claiming races this coming weekend, but they're competitive. When I looked, they're pretty evenly matched, and it's tough to pick out some winners here.
We'll start at the first. We got some mile and a 16th runners here, $3,000 claimers going that tough distance of a mile and a 16th. I like Finally Cruising though. It looks good on paper in here. Yeah. Takes a drop after being claimed. Raising Memo is the only other one I could kind of come up with for second, and Olax I put in the third spot. I've got 4, 3, and 1, but Finally Cruising. There's no speed in the race, but still doesn't matter. I mean, this horse should likely be laying a lot closer this afternoon, and got to win at a short price, I would think. Yeah. So I think 4, 3, and 1. That's the way I saw it in the opener.
I have exactly the same ones. 4, 3, and 1. Finally Cruising was claimed on the last one. Rosie Anderson gives him quite a bit of time off. I'm sure.
Worked pretty good the other day.
Yeah, put everything back together, get him on top form before you run, make sure you win. I think he'll do that. Same one, Raising Memo in second. He just ran second to Woom Broom and them. And Olax has been running against tougher horses most of the year. Dropped down to the $3,000 level, come in third. I see a similar kind of trip from this time. 4, 3, and 1 for me as well in the opener. On to the second. Very interesting race. 3-year-olds and up. 25, going a mile and a 16th. And I've gone to the 5 here, Franzer's Finest. It's a pretty competitive field. There's a few different ways you could look at this one. I'm not exactly sure. Last time Franzer's Finest kind of went to the lead, which I don't know if necessarily is his game. I think he likes to lay just a little bit off of it. When he's done that before, he's run really good against these kind of horses. He had that 3-back, he had that nice win against Tommy Danziger, where he just nosed him at the wire. Came back, ran a good third to Crew Leader and 3-wood. Last, I'm not really sure. He didn't totally run his race, got a little tired at the end. But back down for 25, gets Amadeo. I like Franzer's Finest on top. The second spot, I put a horse that finished ahead of him last time, Roses for Ben, who's been had a pretty bang-up year. Light in the win category, but he always seems to be right there.
Tough races.
Yeah, he's running tough races. He's always flying at the end. Marlowe Dunn had a nice little race on him last time, running third in that Crew Leader 3-wood race. And in the third spot, I put Gamby, a horse that hasn't run for 25, I don't know, maybe ever. It's been a long time, and he won a nice optional 35 earlier this year. I don't know if there's enough pace for him to run. He likes to make one big run at the end. I'm not sure if there's going to be enough pace, but a lot of, there's a pretty competitive field. Full Power Head, Braddock County drops in for 25, Silly Fella, and Full Power Head coming out of that 15 where they were 1-2. So yeah,
it's a tough race. I can definitely see why you would like Franzer's Finest. I know the horse did fade last time.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
When you have the tough horse lapped on you, like Crew Leader was, that's what happens. When you get put away by the best horse, you don't end up hanging on for second or third. You get disheartened, and you end up finishing.
Takes a life out of it. Yeah.
But there's no Crew Leaders in there. I didn't pick him on top, but I can see why you like him. I've gone to the 7 Ganby. I'm hoping he doesn't get too far out of it. His race 2-back when he was kind of close to the pace to Crew Leader, and he ended up getting beat for second by 3-wood. I thought it was a pretty good race. Yeah. As you mentioned, he hasn't run for 25 in some time, and I think he's going to be very dangerous in this spot. I put the 3-horse Braddock County just because of his speed in for second. He's a horse that ran some big mile races down in Phoenix. I know Phoenix is a different...
He's a pretty nice horse.
But still, he's a salty horse. He's been working well. This last time he ran against Herbie D and Jump Up and Kiss Me. This is some class relief for him as well. And I put Francis Finest, another one dropping. The 3 horses dropping, I think, are the 3, 5, and 7 to me are the ones to beat.
That's where the
Pat
action
Squirrel,
is,
Silly
yeah.
Fella had a run for 15, Full Power Ahead, Sharp, Roses for Ben's doing well, but still, I think the 3 horses are 3, 5, and 7. But I did go to Ganby to win it, so I went 7, 3, and 5. But those are the class droppers here in the second. On to the third. I got some $5,000 fillies and mares here, going a mile and a 16th. No speed in the race, and I'm going to head to the 3, Dream in the Dark.
Yeah.
I think she's going to be the one that makes the lead, gets some easy fractions, and plays Catch Me If You Can. She's been a hard luck loser a few times. She just got beat to Perfect Hostess and Remarkably Free last time. She only got beat by about 3 or 4 feet and ended up third. I put the 1 Scopa in for second. Definitely a filly at this level that should be dangerous. She was in an open 3 last time, and she's in form. She's still going well. And I put the 4 horse Rainbows in the Wood for third. It's just 6 horse field, but no pace horse. They're all off the pace horses. Yeah. I just think Dream in the Dark tactically will be very dangerous in here.
I agree with you. I went with Dream in the Dark. She's been running, against Holy Cougar, Maid of Vale, Perfect Hostess, running against tough horses here. She's officially 6 of 8 in the money this year. She's actually 7 of 8. Yeah. She had a number taken down early on. Just very consistent. Like you say, probably the only speed in the race. Tough to go against her. The second spot, I put Odd Zizi, a horse that definitely has the back class. She's been dropping down to these kind of races later on, last part of this year. Hasn't had a whole lot of success, but she tracks Amadeo this time. Maybe that's enough to kind of get her involved. Amadeo and Patty Lino have a pretty good percentage together. And the third spot, I put Scope, as you mentioned.
She's handy at this level.
She's always right there at this level, so she figures to be in the mix. I got her in third. 3, 2, 1 for me. On to the fourth, 3-year-old fillies for 25. Another, pretty decent little race. Yeah. I went to the 4 Mercado here. The last time she ran against 3-year-old fillies for 25, she, got crushed. She got beat about 8 lengths, run 5th. But then she ran back for 17.5 against older mares. And in that non-2, non-3, ran a big race. Led the whole way, beat Tigress Lily, Lemon Loaf. Lemon Loaf came back and won. Pretty nice older mares. Decent types. So I think another race like that could put her on top in here. The second spot, I put an interesting horse in here, Princess Zaida, out of Barb Head's barn. Won her first start of her life with Marlowe on, over 2, 5, and 10 in Graffiti Grace. Yeah. 2 pretty nice fillies. I really like Graffiti Grace. Next time, she ran in, Ann City, ouch, Madeira Park.
Had an outside and wide trip.
Yeah, but was running in allowance races. Barb thought enough of ran her in the Supernatural against Evelyn's Dancer. A horse we just mentioned will be the top 3-year-old filly here this year. Gave her some time off, freshens her up. She comes back to the $25,000 level, attracts Mario Gutierrez. A lot of good things. Mario and Barb have a good percentage, 30% together. So I put her in second spot. And the third spot, I put Long Laurie. Figures to be able to maybe sit just off Mercado, maybe try and wear her down at some point. But I think Mercado's a better speed horse, so I left Mercado on top, got Long Laurie in for third.
I went to Long Laurie to win it. I like this horse. Gets a good break in the weights. I thought it was a pretty good run last time, chasing some fast fractions. And it looks like the pace could be lively here with the 3 horse, remembering when, stretching out, Mercado maybe going at it. And Long Laurie might be able to sit a cozy third and might be the trip horse in here. But I went to Long Laurie to win it. Put the 1, the Commanderess, in for second. The filly that's always kind of close at this level. She's definitely a hard knocker and a nice $25,000 filly. Can't go wrong betting on her because she's usually right in the mix. Yeah. And I agree with the 2, Princess Zeta. I put her in for third. That was tough company last time. She wasn't disgraced. All 3 of those fillies are Eleanor and Madeira Park. Even finished behind Evelyn's Dancer. Those are all 3 very nice, accomplished stakes-winning fillies. So Princess Zeta, no disgrace running 4th that day. So, but she's been freshened up. Slight class relief here, in for 25, and she could be very dangerous, as you mentioned with Mario. I went 5, 1, and 2. On to the 5th race. Got some $3,000 claimers here. They're maidens going 6.5 furlongs. I've gone to the outside. I like the outside 2 horses, actually. The 10, Ray's Reno, and the 11, Regal Honor. Like Ray's Reno, kind of was stuffed inside last time, then tried to get out to the outside and ended up really outside, is bearing out on the... And then came back in and was running on well at the end of it. It was the oddest race. Ends up getting beaten 5 lengths for it all after totally misbehaving on the stretch turn. And she's come back to work well, or he has come back to work well. And I just think this horse has got a lot to offer in here. There's not a lot of speed in the race. You look for the inside 8 horses, there's not many horses that want the lead. So I think Ray's Reno can get out there and get the lead, and I think he's going to be dangerous. I put the 11 Regal Honor, goes back in Blinkhurst. Obviously regressed last time without the Blinkhurst, but they go back on, gets Richard Hamill. I'm going to give him another shot. He might be able to come down with the 10 horses. They head to the rail. If the 10 clears the field, the 11 might be the one laying second. So I'm going to gamble that that's the exactor. And I put the 2 horse Buzz Me in. Just a horse I think has had some tough trips, but it still might be moving forward. I put him in for third. I went 10, 11, and 2, pardon me.
There's a pretty mixed match horse. I don't agree with you at all. I got totally different horses. I put the 3 underdog on top. The reason I did, not to pick on a rider, but Frank, it was not his best ride last time. The horse broke bad. He was on the outside, and he rushed him up like 5 wide, and tried to take the lead. Eventually got the lead, was just kind of running off the whole way, and of course, around the turn into the home stretch faded and just got beat by a couple lengths. So he's got the inside now. He could probably get the lead to himself, and he might be the horse you have to run down to beat. So I put underdog on top. I expect big things out of him today. Second spot, I put Golden Flash, a horse that just got beat a half a length for this same trip. Then he ran back against Hampton Court, who just demolished that day. Ran off, won by 8. But 2 seconds, I think, he's ready. He could definitely get another second. Maybe he gets the better of underdog. Put him in the second spot, Golden Flash. Robbie Anderson and Chad Hoverson, always pretty dangerous together. You never want to leave them out.
No, they're good.
And in the third spot, I put a bit of a flyer, Spark in the Dark. Horse that just got beat a length. Same race by Kumo and Two Hawks. Was part of kind of the pace scenario and just kind of got a little tired at the end. But Marlo Dunn sticks with her. Frankie Barry's having a good meet, so I put them in for third. 3, 9, and 4 for me.
Obviously a tough race because we come up with 6 different horses.
6 different horses, yeah. They're probably going to want to go a little deep in that one. It's a bit of a mixed match.
First leg of the late pick 4.
And on to the 6th race, fillies and mares. Claiming 2,400 for those mares who have not finished first, second, or third at the meet. And I've gone to the 5 here, Dynalite. She was claimed off Terry Clyde a couple starts to go for 5,000. Jim Brown's very dangerous off the claim. He ran it back for 5,000 against Perfect Hostess, Remarkably Free. She was never a factor in that. But she definitely has the back class at this level to really be a factor. So I have her on top. The second spot I put What's Up Betty. Richard Hamill rides for Alan May. 2 very accomplished horsemen. Richard Hamill's having a great finish to the season. Had a great start to the year. Won the Derby and finished up in futurity that day. Alan May, Hall of Famer. I always have a lot of confidence bet on Alan's horses. I'm not sure what happened to her last time, but her second start over the track, I'm sure, should be more dangerous. And then the third spot, I put Kelly Rycroft and Jeffrey Birmingham's Hope, Faith, and Gold. Kelly's having a good year. Just ran third in one of these races. Why not put her in for third? 5, 2, and 1.
Yeah, I agree with the 5 Dynalite. I think this horse is miles the best in here. It could be a good, likely a single in your pick 4s. Dynalite, not the best of trips in a pretty tough race that was won by Perfect Hostess. This is a significant class change. Perfect Hostess, Remarkably Free, and Dream in the Dark, and then go from those 3 into this $2,400 race. Dynalite is miles the best in here, I think. I'm kind of scared of the 4 horse Little Red Jet a little bit, but this horse didn't get the best of trips at all. 4 wide throughout. I think there's, with a better trip, this horse could be dangerous. I put the 3 Beautiful Breeze in for third, but I do like the 5. The 5 is the horse in here, and I've gone down. He's the key, I think, in the late pick 4. I think, as I mentioned, in the 5th race, load up with quite a few horses. The 6th race is maybe a race where you can get away cheap and just key the 5 horse Dynalite. So I went 5, 4, and 3. On to the 7th race, our feature event of the day. It's an allowance event. Non-wears a 2 lifetime, non-3 BC breds. Got to feel the bait, scheduled to go 6.5 furlongs. I'm going to sneak to the 3 horse Ruffy Joe. I'm not going to take the favorite number 6 Golden Triumph. They finished very close to each other last time. I think Ruffy Joe moving inside is going to be dangerous. It was on the rail, kind of sat back. Pedro cleared with Golden Triumph and kind of got away on Ruffy Joe. But I just like the way Ruffy Joe was finishing in that race, despite being covered up and stuck down on the inside. I think he might be able to get the lead in here, and I think he'd be awfully dangerous like he was 2 starts back when he defeated Reckoning and Rockin' Cherokee in a good 117. He could be the speed in here, and I'm just going to go to the 3 Ruffy Joe. And Golden Triumph's your horse to beat, but he's going to be 3 to 5, but definitely alive in here. And the 2 Goldfire, going to put him in for third. He's been freshened up. Obviously had some time off since his campaign in Phoenix, where he was quite successful. But his work tab's good. He's not really a sprinter, but I think he'll come running on late. But I went 3, 6, and 2. But I do like. I think Ruffy Joe is going to make it very interesting for Golden Triumph.
I agree with you on the. I think it's kind of a 2-horse race. Golden Triumph and Ruffy Joe, I think,
I think you probably get away with 2 in here.
Definitely the two tough ones in here. I put Golden Triumph on top. It is kind of an easy pick. You know, he figures to be really tough in here. Just got beat in nose last time. Ruffy Joe, as you mentioned, for the reasons you mentioned. I like Ruffy Joe a lot too. I couldn't decide for my 3rd horse. I had Goldfire. Shintoism is not bad. I ended up on Doublet just because he hasn't had the best of trips the last few times. 2 starts back, Fernando kind of had trouble controlling him. He was on the outside, kind of running off, and it was definitely trouble for him. And then the last time he got impeded by Shintoism, going in the turn, he got knocked pretty hard. That was in the very tough Derby trial with High End Man, Wilo Cat, the Gov. Tough horses. This one isn't as tough, and maybe with a clean trip with Mario on him, maybe he can sneak in there for third. So I put him in third. 6, 3, and 5. On to the last, claiming 5,000 non-winners of the year. Non-winners since July 15th, actually, for 3-year-olds and up. And I have gone to the 2 Peace Bear. Peace Bear came out of the gates firing earlier this year. Ran into 5 non-winners of the year, won by 4. Came back for 12-5, won by a couple. Then he went long, and that kind of set him off on his way where he wasn't doing as well. He got beaten that one. Came back for 12-5, got beat. Ran for 7,500, got beat. Then they give him some time off. They freshened him up. He comes back. This race is 6 furlongs. Kind of an interesting distance for these type of horses. You don't see a lot of 6-furlong races.
Short run to the turn, so you need to be
very
in
short.
position.
He's in the inside. He doesn't have to have the lead. There is some speed in here with Now Act, horse on the outside of him with Amadeo Perez. He might take the lead. I see Peace Bear can sit just off of him. He likes to, sit just off and make one run. I think Peace Bear is really dangerous in here. I got him on top. I put Now Act. Horse I just mentioned. Dave Dahl played him last time off William Levanaway. He's been favored his last 5 races. And just got beat a half by Out of the Clouds last time. I put him in for second. And the horse I just mentioned, Out of the Clouds, I liked him last time he won.
Yeah, it was a good pick again.
What I don't like about him is 6 furlongs.
Yeah,
so I can see him making a big run, but I see him maybe running out of time. But yes, I've been lucky when I picked Out of the Clouds this year.
He's paid well for you.
Yes. So 2, 4, and 7 for me.
I'm going to go to a different one. I like the 5 horse in here, Mad About Fuzz. He's stretching out from 3.5 furlongs. Finally, he's gotten out of took the training wheels off the bike and going to go around 2 turns. He was no chance in his run last time. He was 4 wide throughout, going 3.5. You're dead when that happens. Toro Trippy's just been untouchable in his 3.5 furlong races. That was a pretty tough heat, I thought. He's a horse that can sit in behind Now Act and Peace Bear. I think he can get a really good trip, and Dynastro. I just think Mad About Fuzz might get the run of the race just in behind the leaders, and he can win at 6. He doesn't need to be 3.5. I don't even know why he's been running at 3.5 for that long, but his races down south in Phoenix were excellent going 6. He's a nice horse, and I don't mind him at all. I put the 8 horse Matchable on the class drop in for second. Richard Hamill rides they sent him along last time, and he's definitely a sprinter. His prior sprints are good enough to win at this level. He's been running for 15 and 7,500, and he's against tougher horses. So I don't mind him at all if he can avoid a wide trip. And I put the 4 horse Now Act in for third off, as you mentioned, claimed by Dave Dahl. So I went 5, 8, and 4, but I really like Mad About Fuzz. I think he's going to get a good trip in the finale, but I think you do need a few horses in this one. Maybe
another one you might want to take a few, yeah.
I know you can get away cheap in races 6 and 7 with numbers in the pick 4 if you're a pick 4 player, but you may have to load up in the 5th and 8th race. Those are the toughies.
I'd say so, yeah.
All right, that'll do it for our analysis of the Saturday, September 15th program. Next up on screen will be a quick recap of all of our picks. We'll just put up the numbers there. There we go. Here come my selections for the Saturday program. Back in race number 1, I went to the 4, Finally Cruising. I went 4, 3, and 1. Second race, I went to the 7, Ganbei, but definitely I think it's a 3 horse race with 7, 3, and 5. In the third race, I went to the 3, the only speed I'm hoping, the 3, Dream in the Dark. I went 3, 1, and 4. In the fourth race, I went to the 5, Long Glory. I went 5, 1, and 2. In the fifth race, a tough one as we mentioned, 10, 11, 2. In the sixth race, I went to the 5, Dinah Light, 5, 4, and 3. I think she's the best bet of the day. In the seventh race, I went to the 3, Ruffy Joe. I'm going to call for a little minor upset, maybe to defeat the 6, Golden Triumph. I went 3, 6, and 2. And in the last, I went to the 5, Mad About Fuzz, 5, 8, and 4.
And on to me. First race, I agree with Mike. Actually, got quite a few horses the same as Mike today. The first race, I agree. Number 4, Finally Cruising at a short price. Over the 3 and the 1. In the second, I went with number 5, Franzer's Finest. Over the 6 and 7. Should mention, good friend of the show, Praven Swords.
Here very often.
Very good friend. Number 5.
They're here.
Absolutely. So we hope Franzer's Finest gets home for them. 5, 6, and 7. In the third race, I went with number 3, Dream in the Dark. Over the 2 and the 1. In the fourth, number 4, Marcado. Over the 2 and the 5. In the fifth race, I went to the 3, Underdog, hoping for a better trip for him with the 9 and the 4. In the sixth race, I agree with Mike, as he mentioned, maybe best bet of the day, number 5, Dynalite, over the 2 and the 1. In the seventh, I went to the short price again, number 6, Golden Triumph, over the 3 and the 5. And in the last, I go with the 2, Peace Bear, over the 4 and the 7.
All right, that'll do it for the Saturday, September 15th edition of Handicappers Corner. I'd like to thank everyone for tuning in. Hopefully we've given you some insight and get you making some winning decisions when you're wagering on the Hastings Racecourse program. On behalf of Drew, I've been Mike. Once again, thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time here on Handicappers Corner from the Derby Bar and Grill.
Just 5 to 9 to make it F10. He wins it by a half. Talk to this here in the telegraph. F10. I got the horse.